Sawadee Kap! Welcome to Break Time with Monte. Today's story, Sunken cruise ship arrives in Genoa. The massive wreck of the capsized cruise liner Concordia, twice the size of the Titanic, has been refloated and towed 280 kilometers to Genoa, Italy, for scrapping. Genoa, Italy, July 27, 2014. AFP. Ship horns blared Sunday as the wrecked Costa Concordia cruise liner limped into the Italian port of Genoa to be scrapped 2.5 years after it capsized in a tragedy that claimed 32 lives. The hulking vessel, about twice the size of the Titanic, was towed into port after a 4-day, 280-kilometer journey from the disaster site off of the Tuscan island of Giglio. Fears that the damaged hull would break up under the strain, spilling toxic waste into Europe's biggest marine sanctuary, proved unfounded, and dolphins joined the convoy of environmental experts in welcoming the ship into Genoa. The once luxury liner arrived overnight and weighed anchor around 2 nautical miles offshore, where engineers attached it to several tugboats that maneuvered into Genoa's Voltri port at 1000 GMT. Crowds of curious locals gathered to see the remains of the battered ship, which crashed into the rocks off Giglio Island in January 2012, with 4,229 people from 70 countries on board. Interior furnishings and fittings will be stripped out to make the vessel light enough to tow into the scrapping area, where it will be divided into 3 parts for dismantling. Workers will start by removing what is left of beds, televisions, fridges, and sofas in once resplendent cabins and glitzy restaurants, bars, and casinos. For Genoa, former maritime power and home to explorer Christopher Columbus, the contract to dismantle the ship is a welcome boost in a period of economic crisis, creating hundreds of jobs in the city for a 22-month period. The salvage operation to recover the Concordia was the biggest ever attempted and is expected to cost in the region of 1.5 billion euros, about $2 billion. The remains of the 114,500-ton liner will not simply be thrown away. More than 80% of it is expected to be recycled or reused. Between 40 and 50,000 tons of steel will be melted down and reused in the construction industry, or possibly for building a new ship, while undamaged copper wiring, plumbing, plastics, machinery, and furniture will be sold on. Personal belongings recovered on the lower decks will be returned to the owners, while items such as the ship's piano, which was being played as the liner hit the rocks, may end up in a museum. Images of the vast vessel on its side off of Giglio went viral around the world, and its captain, Francesco Schettino, was dubbed Italy's most hated man, after he escaped in a lifeboat while terrified passengers threw themselves into the icy sea. Schettino is currently on trial for manslaughter, causing a shipwreck, and abandoning the vessel before all passengers had evacuated. And now, today's vocabulary. Battered, battered. Blare, blare. Cabin, cabin. Capsize, capsize. Claim lives, claim lives. Convoy, convoy. Cruise, cruise. Curious, curious. Disaster, disaster. Dismantle, dismantle. Dolphin, dolphin. Doomed, doomed. Drag, drag. Firm, firm. Fittings, fittings. Furnishings, furnishings. Gather, gather. Glitzy, glitzy. Harbor, harbor. Hulking, hulking. Hull, hull. Interior, interior. Limp, limp. Liner, liner. Locals, locals. Luxury, luxury. Maneuver, maneuver. Marine, marine. Maritime, maritime. Nautical mile, nautical mile. Offshore, offshore. Operation, operation. Port, port. Refloat, refloat. Remains, remains. Resplendent, resplendent. Salvage, salvage. Sanctuary, sanctuary. Scrap, scrap. Sight, sight. Spill, spill. Strain, strain. Strip, strip. Tow, tow. Toxic, toxic. Tragedy, tragedy. Tugboat, tugboat. Unfounded, unfounded. Vessel, vessel. Weigh anchor, weigh anchor. Wreck, wreck. Wreckage, wreckage. That's today's story and vocabulary. You have a great day. I'll see you next time here on Break Time with Monte.